Alright, hello everyone and welcome to game 2 in this series. MKP currently with a 1-0 lead in this series as we now move on obviously into game 2. We have MKP spawning as the yellow Terran, Marine King on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Liquid Taeja spawning on the top right hand side of the map as the pink Terran. Terran versus Terran here on Daybreak. And game 1, a very interesting game with MKP Marine King opting to really go for very heavy aggression. Marine King opening up with just reactored Marines, Hellions, and a very strong execution of an elevator drop inside to really heavily harass Taeja. Now, coming back around, Taeja did do some very strong holds, but was unable to contain and stop MKP's expansion. Once MKP was able to establish up his third base, that was pretty much it. We are going to see MKP once again going for the same build, so if at first you succeed, why try anything new? We are seeing exactly that as Marine King going for that fast refinery. Meanwhile, what is Taeja doing? Taeja is actually doing something different as well. He is going to be going for a command center first. This may be a very risky move by Taeja, as Taeja, if he goes for that fast command center, is going to be significantly delayed. Going for significantly delayed for any actual units. You can see the command center now coming down at 14 there. Is he going to be going for 14 command center and then 14 barracks? No, he is not. Actually getting up some more SCVs here. And this is not looking good for him at all. Now, Taeja is going to be forced to hold off some very aggressive play. You can see that MKP went for fast gas and is already finishing up his tech very quickly. Factory should be coming in here in just a moment. There you have it, as Marines are already being trained. Now, Taeja opting to go for double barracks. Are we actually going to see a triple barracks behind this in order to get a lot of units and perhaps fend off against all of these Hellions and Marines with medevacs? So far, nope, we are actually going into a second refinery, so this is not the same build that Marine King used in game 1. Instead, he is going to be going for what I believe to be more starport Banshee play using cloaked Banshees. Now, Banshees are very deadly if they are undetected, but their potential with their potential damage output, but it's not nearly as sustainable as, say, Hellion Marine with medevac, just because it's easier to train up more Hellions, Marines, and medevacs than it is for a Banshee. The Banshee does get taken down pretty quickly, relatively low on hit points, and it also takes 60 seconds to build at a time. Taeja is going into double refineries as well, as we do see the starport being built already next to that tech lab. The gas should be just enough to start researching and training up that Banshee the moment that starport is done. More Marines are being added here. You can see Taeja just training up double SCVs compared to MKP's single SCV now. Cloaking now being researched. We are waiting for a little bit more gas to get that Banshee up into the air, and there we have it. It is going to be one cloaked Banshee on the move. MKP going to come up the ramp. He should perhaps be able to scout out what his opponent's doing, as Marines going to try and get in some damage onto that Hellion. One Marine may actually get taken down. Looks like though that Hellion is driving forward and backwards, doing some great kiting, even though he has even range as all of those Marines. Alright, Marines should be jumping inside that bunker in just a moment. Cloaking field and Banshees will be ready in just a second, as well as we now see Marines being trained up. Alright, engineering bay now being placed down. Taeja, perhaps expecting that there is going to be cloaked Banshees here, should set up a missile turret either here or here, and perhaps one down over here as well. The question will be whether or not it is in time to intercept this Banshee. Now, MKP did invest a lot into this cloak Banshee tech, and it so far has not paid for him. He has to deal a lot of damage If he doesn't deal the damage, then it is pretty much all for naught, as the Banshee now looks to fly in. Here we go. Banshee is now looking to come in. Oh, one SCV already down. Second SCV will get taken down as well. There goes a third, as a fourth one will get taken down. There's the cloaking. Perfect timing. This missile turret is not going to be completed in time at all, as the damage being dealt is already up to 6 kills. Alright. Banshee still looking to deal more damage here. A second Banshee already on the way. The Marines make their way over and do get the damage off. Alright, it looks as though a new Banshee going to be coming in on the far side, as MKP is actually doubly expanding as well. He's placing down the pressure and expanding just as he's supposed to. The Marines are trying to get over there. Are they going to be able to get there in time? The Marines now inside the bunker, however, with no sight. Here, MKP is pretty much going to wander around pretty freely. There is the scanner sweep, the Viking getting off some easy shots. Will the Viking be able to escape? Yes, it will, as the Banshee is still flying and wandering around. Oh, the Banshee just knowing the timing on when that scanner sweep would let up. Banshee now getting off some even more kills here, as the damage is now severely starting to rack up. Viking making its way over. There's the decloak. Banshee is going to get shot down here. It looks like it will get taken down. There you have it. Damage lost 600 versus 950. Workers killed 10-0, as we see 34-34. MKP now with his third base nearly completed will be able to train up more units. More Banshee harassment may be in the near future, as we see MKP trying to come back in here. But this is really diminishing returns, and MKP may have been trying to stretch this out just a bit too long. As you can see, another Banshee goes down, and it is now only a 300 resource difference between these two. And with so many units actually lost in terms of army, that could actually have a negative effect on MKP. Taeja now with a much larger army, 900 minerals, 400 gas. Taking a look at the composition, 1 Viking, 1 Raven, 1 siege tank, and 9 Marines. That should be enough to actually push back anything that MKP may try and want to do. 1-1 upgrades coming in on those siege tanks and Hellions for MKP. It looks as though the Hellions are going to be coming in and start burning down some more units. Hellions perhaps waiting for the upgrades before they try and do a run by. They will take reduced damage from these Marines, which is very, very important. Siege tank still does not have siege tech for Taeja. Perhaps he just likes them outside of siege mode, as we are seeing MKP going into a very gas-heavy build. With this very gas-heavy build, MKP, it does make a lot of sense that he is going for very heavy mech play. Only 1 reactor, double Hellions, 2 siege tanks, and most likely will be double training up some Vikings here in just a moment for air superiority. Coming back here, we can see Taeja actually has, what is this? Dealing a lot of damage, going after a second mule, able to do exactly that. Now going after some SCVs. SCVs getting taken down. It looks as though they are on auto repair, but not able to repair enough in time, as the Banshee is actually getting in a lot of kills. Taeja coming in with 1 Banshee, dealing a lot of damage somehow, perhaps suspecting that MKP does not have any Marines. This was a huge, huge blunder by MKP, as Taeja now up to 8 kills already, and perhaps even more, as you can see the damage is just racking up so quickly, and 1 Banshee able to deal enough damage and also take down a couple key mules. 47-54, 1 Banshee was all that it took, and all of a sudden Taeja now takes the lead, even though MKP does have that third base. Taeja, does Taeja know about that third base? No, he does not. That is perhaps a huge blunder there. The importance of this base is the amount of gas that MKP is gathering. About 50% more gas, actually exactly 50% more gas, as the barracks is now floating off over here. Taeja does have his third already being established. Mules now being called into position as well. Taeja does have Marines. He is going into 2-1 upgrades right now. Blue Flame Tech coming in. Siege Tech as 2-2 upgrades coming in from MKP. MKP looking to go for a very, very heavy mech play. Meanwhile, Taeja with the much more traditional Marine Marauder bio play. Hellions now look to come back around. I do not believe the Hellions will deal any damage whatsoever. Marauders and Siege Tanks are there. That's a horrible position to try and attack. The Hellions now coming back around. Vikings do spot this. One Marine will get taken down here. And what's going to be happening next is the Marauders and the Marines are now engaging. Beautiful, beautiful engagement by Taeja, as all of those Hellions will pretty much get cleaned up. Oh, one more shot. There it goes. And MKP now down 20 supply, being forced to replenish his army. Yeah, a beautiful line of siege tanks there, dealing a lot of damage to those Hellions, allowing the Marauders and the Marines to clean up. MKP, however, not giving up, now establishing up his 4th base in this forward position. What is going to be happening next as 1-1 upgrades are finished, now going into 2-2 upgrades. However, 2-2 on the mech, already further ahead as we see Vikings are on the move. Here we have the engagement, the Marauders and the Marines, Banshees, Vikings, both sides fighting it out. The Raven needs to drop a point defense drone or some auto turrets. There are some auto turrets now as the Marauders and the Marines trying to push their way forward. Is it going to be enough? The Marauders and the Marines are going to get cleaned up here. Vikings now backing, or Vikings are now just in the air. What's going to be happening next as the siege tanks should be able to force a cancellation on this one command center there. Alright, siege tanks now sieged up on the low ground. A 25 supply discrepancy between these two armies. Siege tanks holding at the Xel'Naga Tower and perhaps going to now push off to the 3rd. SCV making its way down here. MKP pretty much in a very bad way here. Vikings battling it out, superior in numbers. Siege tanks are down here. What's going to be happening next? Will they be able to engage Marauders and Marines? Hellions trying to make their way forward, not able to do so. A siege tank right there, unable to attack over the ridge, as we are now seeing the Marauders and the Marines trying to engage. Here we have it. Siege tanks now down in this position here. Hellions trying to surround the siege tanks. Looks like they will be able to finish off some, if not all, but damage is already being dealt. Vikings gonna try to engage. Here we have another quick engagement. The Raven absorbing some damage. It gets taken down, but the Vikings are still here to play. SCV perhaps should be trying to repair these siege tanks off to the north. It looks like they will be able to do exactly that. MKP getting caught without... getting caught without siege mode. A horrible loss there as another siege tank tries to make its way over. That's going to get... actually wins out with the upgrades as the Vikings go into ground mode to try to finish off. Marauders and Marines come back in for the cleanup. Beautifully done. Siege tank, however, on the far side of the cliff, unable to do much there. Taeja is expanding to his 4th and 5th base as we speak. Compared to the 3 bases for MKP, MKP now in trouble, down about 50 supply. Army compositions much larger and in favor for Taeja, as Marine King now pretty much down to just a handful of siege tanks and almost a dozen Hellions. Marauders and Marines upgrades are at 2-2. Taeja now in position to try and perhaps blast over the wall. Not going to be able to do that at all, as we also see sensor tower established here by the Xel'Naga Tower. Vikings going in for a quick engagement, quickly get shot down, and Taeja is just going in for the kill, pushing in from multiple sides. Siege tanks are in positions. Marauders and Marines, there's the blast. Siege tanks are blasting apart. Missile turret will get taken down. Refinery going to get taken down as well. Hellions trying to engage will not be able to do so, as we now see the units are backing off. One orbital command center now trying to land, not going to be able to do much of anything, as the siege tanks now on the run. Vikings are going to be coming back in for the counter engagement. Here come the siege tanks. Siege tanks both sides blasting. Marines and Marauders trying to focus down here. Who's going to come around? There's a good concave on MKP, and with Taeja with a superior army able to push through and once again hold MKP to now about 2.5 bases, as the main bases are mining out. Taeja really just focusing on gas at that 4th base. No gas at that 5th base just quite yet. Taeja with a large number of siege tanks. Oh, Hellions are on the move. Are they going to be able to slip by? Yes, they will. No planetary fortress. This is not looking good. MKP may actually deal the necessary damage to take this and win it. All right. Oh, a medevac drop, though, now coming in. And here you have it. A straight-up drop inside the base, cleaning up much of the units. Siege tanks getting caught in while out of siege mode, and there is the GG coming in from Marine King. Marine King comes in to ruin all of these workers here, but Taeja comes in with the doom drop of Marines, Marauders, and siege tanks while Marine King was sleeping. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 2.